And
you count down.
oh, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello. This is Ignacy and Portal Game.
And this is the Podfather of Gaming, Stephen Bonacore. You are watching and listening to episode 242 of Board Games Insider. We're recording this August 3rd, 2022. Board Games Insider is a proud member of the Dice Tower Network. And hail, the gang's all here. Ignacy Chevicek, Stephen Bonacore, and Tom Vassell together again,
Somewhere
all here at Gen Con. Yeah, he's somewhere here. We saw him last night. We were hanging out, but we're all here at Gen Con, Indianapolis.
Staying in the same hotel.
We are. We're sending.
We're in one hotel with Tom Vassell.
I'm sending a beer to his room just because he won't drink it. But this is kind of funny. Where are we right now, Ignacy? I finally got you to hang out at a bar with me. If the people watching can see that there's a bar behind us, but we're recording this at 10 a.m. in the morning. So the bar is closed, though they are refilling it, I think, as we speak. There's somebody going by.
Scenery is cute.
It's a great scenery. We got some nice lighting here, some warm lighting here. So you should watch this on the YouTube channel because it looks really good. And Bonacore looks really good for like 10 a.m., I think. What do you think? I look great.
Yes.
So yeah, we're here at Gen Con. This is going to be great. It's going to be an amazing week. It's the Wednesday, so Gen Con hasn't officially started. Paula's actually right here. You can't see her, but she's right there. We've been here since Monday. Did you get in? When did you get in?
I came yesterday on Tuesday.
He came in on Tuesday. So we're all just kind of biding our time, doing social events, and we got a chance to record for you guys. Apologies for the last month of not recording. Why didn't we record? Well, someone who was here for 4 weeks in the U.S. got COVID, and then someone else who was on a cruise got COVID after that. So we both have hit. We were out for like a week, but it was not so bad in the end.
Yeah, convention season means that you meet many people. You meet many people, and the chances to get COVID are much higher than sitting at home. So I got my COVID. You got your COVID.
Now we're good for months, hopefully.
Yeah. But when you are vaccinated, it's not that bad.
That's right.
I don't want to have this COVID, but it was not that bad. It was just a couple of days being super weak, and that's it. So back in action. Back in action.
It was as you said, it literally was a 1 day in bed kind of thing, and then you get better and better, and then you're fine. So everybody out there, stay diligent and all. But we're going to go on. We're going to live our lives. And we're here at Gen Con. This is going to be an amazing week. Ignacy, so you've been here for a month almost in the United States. And certainly by the time. More than a month he's been here. Wow. That's amazing. So by the time you get back, it's going to be over 5 weeks probably because you're not leaving until Sunday or Monday or something. But do you know what's happening over at Portal Games now that you're here?
I'm a little bit out of the touch with the company. But I know that we are just pre-racing Brazil at Gen Con. So this my team is right now setting up the booth. We just started with, of course, a big pile of Brazils. This is our main pre-race. Once again, to remind everyone, we are pre-racing the game. This is the whole story of me air shipping the games to Gen Con so we can show off the game here in Indianapolis. What's the noise behind us? What the hell is going on? We are right in the bar.
Matthew's great. He'll edit the whole thing out.
Okay.
No, he won't.
So we have this one part of the games for Gen Con, and then officially the game will release at the end of the September in all game stores in North America. It's just slowly reaching our warehouse and then the distribution channels, etc. So the big news of the week is fans will have chance to play Brazil. As you mentioned, I spent 4 weeks already in America, traveling through different cities and states. And in each city, if there was a game store, I was doing demos of Brazil. So I met many fans of board games.
That's cool.
And the feedback is so positive for the game. Like, I know that every publisher will brag about their game. This is natural because we love our games. But
of course,
seriously, the feedback was amazing. So I'm very confident people will love the game here at the show. I cannot wait to show it. So once again, it's a 4X game with the strong accent on Euro games, on the resource management. There is so tiny resources. You need wood to build stuff. You need the cotton. You need coffee, and there is always not enough of this stuff. You have to manage very, very well, and then you explore the the continent, you find some discoveries. A great game, amazing production value. Once again, kudos. I'm distributor, proud distributor of the game, but it was designed by Brazilian designer. It was published originally by small Brazilian publisher, and we pick it up. Like you back then were picking up the best games from Europe. I picked the game from Brazil, and I'm very proud to be publisher of this game.
That's great, man.
Brag of the week, we see in the show notes. Brag of the week, a very important part of the section. Short update from Florida. I won the Crokinole match. Like,
yes. At Dice Tower Con, we had that great meetup. That was wonderful. We had almost about 24 people show up. It was really, really nice. Some other people from the industry even showed up. And yes, Ignacy did win the Crokinole match, but it was close. I had you sweating.
I want to mention very clearly that at the end of the third round, because Crokinole is a game that you play in a couple of rounds till you actually win the game. I won the first round. I felt very confident. Then I lost the second round. And when I lost the third round, I said, this is going to be very bad. and I focused myself. I cleaned my thoughts and said, I cannot make it happen that I will lose the game. And I pulled it off. But it was a very close match. And once again, the game proved that it is a very good game. This is like not just a toy. It's not just a dexterity seed. No, this is a real game. The strategic decisions, and there's a little bit of dexterity, a little bit of thinking. I love it. I strongly recommend, guys, you need to check it out. Crokinole.
Best thing that's ever come out of Canada is Crokinole.
Yeah.
And curling.
Florida champion of Crokinole tells you it's an amazing game.
It is great.
For pre-orders, we just closed the pre-orders for Pickup Brazil at Gen Con, and we just opened pre-orders for everyone that we are going to ship the pre-orders. So you can now, if you see the hype, hopefully we'll see some hype in social media for Brazil. You can go to portalgamesus.com and secure your copy, pre-order the game, and we'll ship to you very, very soon at the beginning of the September. So this is your way to get the game as soon as possible. And basically, this is it. When I came back home, when I'm in Poland, I will have some updates from the company. I will know more about the upcoming S. And I know that during the Dice Tower Spectacular, there was a show.
Yep.
After the Dice Tower Con.
The Summer Spectacular.
Yeah, we announced a new game. It's called Basilica. It's a 2-player game. They will release at S, and I will talk about it more next week when we record in a regular environment. So I will talk more about this game. So things are happening, but the most crucial, Brazil. I'm in Indianapolis. It's my 8th Gen Con. So slowly going to the 10th anniversary. For you, which Gen Con it is?
I don't know because I didn't think about it, but I think it's around 10.
10.
Yeah, I think I started it late, only like 2012, I think.
Yeah,
that would be my guess. I don't think I was here in 11.
So if this is your 10th, you need to celebrate.
Yeah.
Just
I think I celebrated last night a little bit too heavily, and Paula could tell you all about our celebration last night. Anyways, are you done?
Yeah.
All right. So here at the Podfather of Gaming and all things fun and retirement, I'm always going to be mentioning Podfather the Cruise, January 7th through 15th of 2023. So you've got about 6 months now before we have this cruise. It's going to be amazing. It's going to focus on, of course, we're going to have games, but it's going to focus on the social aspects that we all love being together as gamers. You know me, when I'm here at a convention, I don't stay in a way.
Like
I'm out there. I'm out there amongst you all. I'm at every party I can find. I'm hanging with you. I'm talking to you. I'm gaming with you. I'm having an adult beverage with you. More carts are going by, as you can hear there. I'm hoping that we get some more people coming. The cruise is for charity, and it's 8 nights going all the way down to South America out of Florida, hitting the islands of Curacao and Aruba, which are part of South America, just off the coast. Please think about coming. Go over to our Facebook group, the Podfather of Gaming group on Facebook. I've got a pinned event up there. You can find out all about it. Just ask us questions. You will love this cruise. As I mentioned, I just came off of a cruise, BGG at Sea. I love going on Dice Tower Cruise. We're doing this one in January of next year for charity and for social gaming. We've got about 15 cabins booked. We'd love to have 30 cabins booked. It'll still be intimate even at that size. So hopefully that's going to happen. Please come, think about it, get your significant other, get your friends, guy friends, gal friends, whatever you want to do. Just come on over. You're going to have a great time. we talked about Dice Tower East. It was amazing. That meetup was great. Ignacy, congratulations on winning that. After BGG at Sea, which happened after that, Dice Tower Con, Dice Tower East, I missed the World Board Gaming Championships in Pennsylvania due to COVID, which was very sad.
Okay.
I couldn't go. Sadly, my good buddy Chad, who I mention here all the time, I was going up there to meet him. He went home with COVID from that. So I didn't give it to him. I stayed in Florida for the week. So we went, we recovered, and now we're here at Gen Con. And I'm going to have a nice, relaxing time at home. After Gen Con, I've got basically nothing else scheduled.
For the next 3 days?
For the next 3 weeks after that. But you know what I just did yesterday? I bought tickets for the Kennedy Space Center to watch Artemis 1, the mission to the moon, the unmanned mission that they're testing out, the new space launch system. It's now scheduled to go on August 29th. Paula and I bought tickets, so we'll be there watching this massive 9 million pound of thrust rocket. That's 20% bigger than the Saturn V. Tremendous rocket, which is going to the moon, going further than the moon, actually, and doing this big loop, proving out the whole system. It'll be the furthest that they've gotten people away from the moon. There won't be people in this one, but that's the way it's going to work when they do it. And we'll be up there, and I'll cover it, and I'll post it up there. That's August 29th. Awesome. That's going to be fun. And you went to the Kennedy Space Center while you were in Florida, right?
Here in Florida, here in America, I'm with my son. He just graduated high school. He just got to the college. He will be a mechanical engineer. So Kennedy Space Center was like
amazing.
It was a blast. I strongly recommend everyone to go there. Super interesting, and even if you are not super geeky about the science, it is so well produced. All the visuals, all the presentations are so well done that if you are a fan of the things that we are, it's mind blowing. But even if you are not, if you go with somebody else who is not into science, it's so well produced, so well prepared that everyone should.
And they keep expanding it too. They just added the gateway section, which is a celebration of what's happening in the future for NASA and the space program. Plus, of course, all the stuff that's happened in the past they have there. It's an amazing place. Highly recommended. So that's everything happening over here with the Podfather Gaming and at Portal Games. We're gonna have a lot of news here since we weren't around.
This is our new jingle.
This is the new jingle. It's called the Rolling Cart Jingle. Crazy Carts? The Rolling Cart Jingle at the Marriott downtown Indianapolis. Let's get over to the event deck. All right, so this was breaking news when I put it in there. It was breaking news about 3 weeks ago, but not many people reported on this. Martin Wallace, famed designer, is back into publishing. He's launching Wallace Designs. I'll read from his press release here. He sent this to me specifically, which was really nice that he did so, and Martin's a great friend of mine and a wonderful guy. Martin Wallace is proud to announce the launch of his new company, Wallace Designs. The first release will be Bloodstones, a multiplayer fantasy war game. This will be launched on GameFound on the 27th of July. So it must have just launched. I have to go there and back it. The game will only be available via the GameFound platform and a small number of outlets. It will not be sold to distributors. So if you want to get the next Martin Wallace game, this is the place to get it. You must go over to GameFound. The physical presentation of Bloodstone sets it apart from many other games on the market, with the components being mostly plastic tiles and the maps printed in faux silk. That sounds interesting. Martin has gathered a team of associates in Australia to help him with this endeavor. The GameFound campaign will be run by Cassie Simpson. Artwork and graphics have been produced by Leif Walton and Atticus Naughton. Ian Anderson has created the digital videos. Cassie and Alexi have produced a tabletop simulator version, and Patrick Wolovic is developing a version for BGA. So you can find out more information at www.wallacedesigns.com.au. Very happy for Martin. I'm really excited that he's getting back into this. Tree Frog Games was a big thing for a long time, so it's really nice to see that he's back and doing it. I see you just brought it up there, right? Is it started yet?
Yes, it started. It's already founded. It looks beautiful. So he really has an amazing team of the artwork people. We will consider backing it. That's for sure.
Absolutely. So here's an interesting one. Peach State Hobby Distribution, otherwise known as PhD, which was always considered the smallest of the big five, or at least the fourth or fifth, with Southern Hobby. They actually have acquired the UK distributor Bliss, which is very interesting. So they've expanded across the pond and obviously are becoming a bigger player. So PhD has acquired Bliss Distribution Limited UK, expanding the company's presence to a fourth continent. Who knew? The company announced Bliss Distribution, based in Blackburn, Lancashire, is a UK-based distributor of trading cards, toys, games, and collectibles in the UK, the EU, and other countries. It will continue to operate under its current name with the tagline "Powered by PhD." I was very surprised that they had already moved apparently to other countries and now doing something big in the UK as well. You have sold, or maybe even continue to sell in the US to PhD. I'm hoping that they give Asmodee UK a run for their money, because they've always had a very big lock on that market, Asmodee UK, otherwise known as Devium back in the day. So hopefully they can be a player in that market as well.
This is exactly the case. That I was surprised at this news. We mentioned PhD is great distributor, but it's not the biggest distributor, and now they're expanding to the UK, which is super dominated by Asmodee. Like Asmodee, as you mentioned, bought Devium, and it's just so big. It's hard to compete there. So good luck. As our listeners know, I'm always about competing and different companies on one market. So fingers crossed. But it's super surprising news.
Very cool. So this is a very interesting one. This is a Roll20 and One Bookshelf are merging. Roll20 CEO will be the new CEO, and Steve Wick, good friend of mine from way back in the day, before there was a Stronghold Games, is going to be the president of the merged company. So Roll20 and One Bookshelf, which includes Drive-Thru RPG and Dungeon Masters Guild, have inked a deal to combine the companies in a joint venture that will create cross-platform support for digital content and eventually synchronize the two companies' content libraries. Roll20 CEO Antic Lai will be the CEO of the new company, while One Bookshelf CEO Steve Wick will join the Roll20 board and serve as president of the combined companies. Wick founded Drive-Thru RPG in 2004 and formed One Bookshelf in a 2006 merger with RPG Now. Wick brings decades of tabletop role-playing production experience to Roll20, as he was one of the co-founders of White Wolf and helped bring Vampire the Masquerade to market, as well as bring back the CCG based on that, which was called Jihad, or Vampire the Eternal Struggle, which I was a huge player back in the late 90s myself. So this is great news for me, because Steve is an amazing guy, smart guy, real hardcore gamer. Very happy for this, kind of like these two great companies doing these, doing online stuff and print on demand stuff, coming together to form an even bigger, more interesting, more robust company. Very cool for me.
I don't know how it's Drive-Thru popular in America. In Europe, it's hugely popular. Like we in Europe really use either buying the PDF or buying, as you just mentioned, print on demand. It's a huge, amazing online store for all the fans who love role-playing games, and is mostly for independent role-playing games. Like all these small companies get a chance to have distribution channel online. We ourselves in Portal Games is using Drive-Thru to sell Hiroshima role-playing game as a PDF. So
that's fantastic.
Great news, and I didn't know that all of that is behind all the White Wolf management. But now the puzzle makes sense that you were playing with Empire.
Yes,
that's strong. So that's amazing.
Yep, exactly. So the Spiel des Jahres winners, we're a little late to announce these, but the Spiel des Jahres winners, I always say it wrong and differently every time I say it. Spiel des Jahres winners were announced, and the winner was Cascadia, which was my number one game from last year. So I'm going to pat myself on the back, as you can see me doing here, because I predicted it. No, I didn't predict that they would win. I thought that they probably would, which was because they're just a great game. So kudos to AEG, Flat Out, and Cosmos, who are the publishers of that. The other nominees were Scout from Oink Games and Top 10 by Cocktail Games. Most people predicted it was going to be Cascadia or potentially Scout. Two fantastic games.
Can we give also kudos to Beth? She was doing the art.
Beth Sobel as well. Amazing. The fantastic artwork, in that game. And that's one of the reasons why that game is so lovely. It's so approachable. You see it on the table. It's so pretty and also minimalist. and simplistic. Just really pretty animals and really pretty landscapes. Beautiful little minimalistic art on the table.
I think that I love Cascadia. It's a great game, and I think that because sometimes when they announce the winner or nominees, geeks complain, "Oh, why this game?" Like there's a lot of controversy. Here, I think that everybody's yes, there's a great choice. There was no controversy. Cascadia is really amazing game.
Yep.
And now will be sold in every single toy store, every single store in Germany.
That's right.
So many gamers will discover it. So kudos to winners and great choice.
Yep, exactly. And the Kenner Spiel de Jahres award went to Living Forest by Aske Christensen, published by Pegasus Spiele. The other nominees there were Cryptid from Osprey Games and Dune Imperium from Dire Wolf. Very good choices there as well. And the top game for kids, which is the Kinderspiel de Jahres, went to Zauberger.
You read it as a Zauber.
Zauber. Published as Magic Mountain by Amigo in the US. And I covered Magic Mountain at Origins. Right. And I mentioned it because I actually spoke to Alex Yeager from Amigo, and we saw the game, and it was great. It's the only one that I knew that was on this list. And I said, this is beautiful. I hope you win, Alex. And they did win. So congratulations to all of the nominees and the winners. Really, really good one. So this is interesting. So Hasbro, or maybe it's just WotC, record quarter again. So their operating profits, 53.7% of sales. Wizards of the Coast had a blowout Q2 with a record sales quarter and operating profit over half of every dollar sold. So think about that. For every dollar they brought in, over 50% was profit. That is a huge number. Every publisher just drools when they hear that kind of margin. Hasbro revealed in its quarterly earnings where WotC sales were led by tabletop gaming, which was up 15% in Q2 2021 over Q2 2021, led by Magic the Gathering, which was up 11% across the platforms. For the first time, every major Magic the Gathering set this year has garnered over $100 million in sales for Hasbro, the company says. So Ignacy is like, his gut is painful in his gut to hear these things. But we do have to admit Magic the Gathering is an amazing thing and has helped the hobby grow and continue. So, I mean, it's hard to make fun of them too much. They've done a great job expanding this IP.
Yeah. When I was visiting these game stores right now for the past 4 weeks, I was discussing, of course, with the owners apparently the whole new format of this commander decks, super popular. This for the casual play. You buy the commander deck, you are ready to play, you don't need to think too much about deck building, and people just playing and playing and playing. Yeah, so WotC know what they are doing clearly every single year.
And these
numbers are insane.
The numbers are just insane. Really good. So Ignacy, you put the next one into here, so you have to talk about this. The GIC Games Industry Conference. What's going on with this?
So we reported about this idea. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, when UK Game Expo wanted to do in Europe sort of like a GAMA trade show. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We tried to do that.
Yep.
It didn't work. I guess COVID didn't help back then. And now they sent a press release that they are back with this idea. So this conference is scheduled for the February, so the beginning of the year. Like we always mention that these business shows are at the beginning of the year.
Right.
So the publishers can meet the distributors and show them the schedule for the games. It will be held in Birmingham, like the regular UK Game Expo, but this one is just for the business people and press and retailers and publishers. So we will have our own GAMA next year in Europe.
Very good. So it's not going to be run by GAMA or anything like that.
I'm just saying, like in
right.
air quotes,
Air quotes.
This is a business show.
Very cool. So it's going to be like a GAMA trade show.
Yep.
And it's going to be, it looks like it's going to be held on the 13th of February in 2023, right there at the same place as where the UKG is held, right?
Yep.
At the Hilton Birmingham Metropole Hotel. Very, very cool. So hope that works out. I mean, that'll be really cool. Now, in some sad news, and hopefully it's not GAMA drama, but it is related to GAMA. Ignacy immediately starts smiling, and he immediately wants to make fun of GAMA here. But the GAMA board president, Kylie Primus, steps down. Snowbright's Grace Collins assumes the role of interim president. The Game Manufacturers Association, otherwise known as GAMA, announced that their board president, Kylie Primus, said that he would step down during the July 18th, 22 meeting, so just a couple of weeks ago, Primus joined the GAMA retail division in 2020 after John Stevens resigned and was elected president after the GAMA board was restructured in April of this year. Primus stepped down from his post due to demands on his time, and his resignation was effective on July 19th. So he has officially resigned at this point. However, he will still serve as an at-large officer for the retail voting membership group. Snowbright Studios' Grace Collins will serve as the interim president until August 18th, when new officers can be elected per GAMA bylaws. Additionally, John Coviello from Little Shop of Magic, I know John well, will take Primus's place as the retail voting membership representative on the board. So he's still laughing. Look at him. He's laughing. In the usual, and Paul is even laughing over there. What now? You're heckling GAMA in stereo, the two of you. Come on, you want to be on camera here? Get over here. She won't get on camera. So in all seriousness, I actually, in my investigative reporting role, I reached out to Kylie, who's a good friend of mine. He's wonderful.
You told them Ignacy will make fun of that. Give me some content.
I said, I
help you.
I basically said, I hope everything's okay. And you were a great force on the board, and they're definitely gonna miss you. And he said, yeah, it's just a matter of needing more time with my family. It was just taking up too much time. So there's no drama here, unless you want to say he has family drama, family things, and family always first. I always say it's one of the things in my life. I always say family first. So good luck to Kylie and good luck to GAMA, because you lose good people, that's a problem. So hopefully this is something they'll be able to recover from easily.
I'm looking forward for the another news, because now they will have another election. So we are already ready.
We're already ready.
Insider for the another election news from GAMA.
That's right. So talk about great news and unbelievable numbers that were posted for hobby game sales in 2021. When I saw this headline, I simply didn't believe it. I didn't even read this because I wanted this to be a cold read. This came out 2 days ago on August 1st on ICV2. Listen to this. Hobby game sales jumped 1/3 in 2021, the second year of COVID altered retailing, according to ICV2 market size estimates. Sales for the category were $2.7 billion. And this is North America only, up from $2.03 billion in 2020. Every subcategory of hobby games was up, with steep rates of increase for collectible games leading the way. The huge channel shifts we saw in 2020 pulled back toward game stores in 2021. So what they're saying there is that we saw this huge channel shift. Channels are the way that people buy games, right? How do people buy games? They go to a local retailer, they go to Amazon, they go to other specialty stores, they go to other online retailers. These are different channels that we talk about. So the channels move back toward game stores as consumers resumed shopping at or from, using curbside or delivery, their local retailers. While sales at chains and via Amazon and other online sellers remained strong, independent retailers took back some of the share they'd lost in 2020 due to the store closures that affected them differentially. Supply chain issues, which began in early 2020, came to the forefront in 2021, affecting every aspect of the business, not least of which was a reduction in sales below what they could have achieved with smooth supply. Despite the problems, record amounts of TCGs were shipped to market all year, with Magic the hottest in Q2 and Q3, Pokemon hot all year, especially its Celebrations range, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Surging by the end of the year. New brands, particularly Flesh and Blood, gained traction behind the collectible demand. The overall trends for miniatures were good, with strength across multiple lines. Games Workshop sales were up, especially in comparison to the long shutdown period in early 2020. Board game sales grew, driven by consumers buying familiar games to play in the bubble. Hobby evergreens like Catan became more mass-driven, while new evergreens like Wingspan began driving sales in the hobby channel. Introductions remained challenging. So new games were still challenges, but the evergreens were surging throughout 2021. Card game trends tracked those of board games, with positive sales behind increased purchases for at-home play. RPGs were up substantially, primarily driven by online play. Dungeons and Dragons was still the strong leader. So it's just amazing. I mean, I just can't even contemplate that the number is 1/3 higher year over year. Ignacy, comments?
Yeah. This is all the post-COVID thing that we were saying. The people were staying in the COVID, staying at home, discovered board games, and they are just, some of them remain hobbies, remain fans of our hobby, and they are just discovering more and more and more. While the old geeks who were already in the hobby still are in the hobby, right? So we have all these new customers in Poland, because this is the data from the America, right? In Poland, I can not say that we had up 1/3, but we really are growing as well. So the Polish market is growing very, very strongly as well. And I guess it's true for the whole Europe and every other place. We are in a great time for the hobby. And with Asmodee, even though I complain a lot that it's a big player, it is hard to compete with them. But they are, as we were mentioning for years, opening all these new doors to new customers with all these new IPs and new games in the Target and other places. So we are like growing like on a rocket.
Right. So and we always talk about, North America is obviously the biggest market and the biggest and the single one market that people look to look at those sales, and English is the biggest selling game language.
Yep.
But when we talk about it, we say it's still half or less than half of the rest of the world in total, right? So if North American market is 2.7 billion, worldwide, we must be close to $6 billion. I remember us talking about it last year that the estimate was around 2 billion US and 5 billion worldwide. So this is just staggeringly large numbers. And of course, we, Asmodee this year sold themselves to yet another big venture capital firm for over 3 billion US.
And they will open new doors, new IPs. They will find new audiences of the video gamers. Like this is all going just in direction of just growing, not like going to the stagnation. We are just still on this. I was saying that for years when I was coming here to America, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of the huge explosion that's coming.
Absolutely. So the next news item is very near and dear to my heart. And in fact, for the listeners, watchers of my YouTube channel, I broke the news on Monday, August 1st. I broke this. I was the first person to put this news up because I was allowed to put it up a half hour before everybody else was allowed to. It was embargoed until 10 a.m. and I put it up at 9:30 via permission. And this is people on the move. Lucky Duck Games hires Scott Morris as their new Chief Sales and Marketing Officer. So reading from the ICV2 release, Lucky Duck Games has hired Scott Morris to be their new Chief Sales and Marketing Officer. Morris has been a mainstay in the games industry for decades. He was most recently GTS Distribution's Director of Business Development for Gaming, and prior to that had been the President of Passport Games. Morris also was Vice President of Business Development for Arcane Wonders and has been a retail store manager and a designer of Upper Deck's Firefly Shiny Dice game. Quote, Scott's incredible leadership and experience is an amazing step forward for not only the growth of Lucky Duck Games, but also the entire executive and sales and marketing team, said Vince Vergonjon. Maybe. That's not bad. CEO of Lucky Duck Games. So Vince is a good friend of yours, a good friend of mine. He's a resident of Poland. We hung out with him, right? The last time I visited you in Poland in 2019, we hung out. We had a great time there. And I cannot tell you how happy I am for both Scott and Vince. This is a marriage made in heaven. Scott is a genius. Vince is a genius. Scott's got the great marketing and sales smarts, and Vince has grown Lucky Duck Games into a huge force. Big competitor of yours, of course, but at the same point, not a competitor. They, the friendly competitors, but they also do very different things with very app-driven stuff. Yep. And they bring a lot of games in. They don't do as much in-house stuff as like you do. So this is just a great marriage for these two people and this company. I think the Lucky Duck is a lucky duck for having done this right there.
Everything what Steven said exactly. I cannot express how I respect Scott I know him for years when I was coming to Gen Cons and to America, and I met him for the first time. He was always super professional when I was working GTS because when he was at the position of GTS, we worked together. Huge respect to him. And as you mentioned, Vince is my friend from Poland. So as you said, marriage in heaven, I'm very happy for them. And that means that the Lucky Duck Games just got the best hire possible.
It really did.
And they will just grow and grow and grow. Kudos.
Yeah. And then one little thing that Scott said in the video, and if you guys want to, I didn't only break the news, I actually interviewed Scott. Yep. It was supposed to be Scott and Vince, but Vince's plane was delayed. So I over Zoom before I came to Indianapolis the day before, I interviewed Scott Morris, and we had a 15-minute interview. It was fantastic. Go over to the Podfather Gaming YouTube channel and you can watch that. And he said literally he was not looking to leave. It was one of those things that Vince came to him after some discussions and he made him an offer he couldn't refuse, right? It was a little Godfather kind of thing going on there. I'm really happy for both of those guys. That's going to be great. Hey, we're going to skip over strategy and tactics today because of so much news, and we're going to get directly to play testing. I hope that's okay, Ignacy.
I approve this message because I have to go back to the booth. So like basically
there we go.
In the middle of setting up the booth.
All right. We're going to make this hopefully quick. Here we go. Play testing. All right. So last week, the question was, if you have a chance, what new game convention, one that you've never been to, would you like to go to? And the answers that we got were Melanie, old long time listener, Melanie Cogdill. She said Dice Tower West because I have board gaming friends who live in Vegas and all the great food there to eat. That's a good one. Paul Marchbanks, yes. You know him well. Yep. He and his brother do work for Ignacy here. Essen, I would love to be able to see Europe and experience that show. Jeremiah Brahmer, he says Button Shy's new convention. Can't remember what it's called, but because something like ShyCon, because I love their games. So that's interesting. So some people want to go to very specific ones, and some people want to go to the biggest of the biggest ones.
Yeah, but the Essen is the most popular, absolutely. For you, our listeners, mostly in America, Essen is the Mecca. Everyone wants to at least be once in Essen. Go to the Irish pub.
The Irish pub, Fritz Patrick's, which is an amazing name for
and find
German
all
Irish.
These amazing games that are released in Essen by the small publishers. So Chevy wants to go to Essen, Derek wants to go at Essen, and Essen Spiel from Sarah, etc., etc.
So there's a shout out for OrcaCon. So so you see it's BGG at sea. Some people are saying all the BGG stuff. So you can see that most people are shouting out the biggest ones, but there's also some nice shout outs to the smaller ones too.
Maybe you want to do a cruise to Essen.
Well, do you know there actually is a thing going to happen in 23? It's going to be a transatlantic cruise starting in Southampton, UK. So if you go to Essen, you can travel with the group via train to Paris for 3 nights, via train to London, spend 3 nights, go up to Southampton, and then do Trans-Pacific. Jeff Anderson is going to be doing that, and I will be on that cruise. But go to Podfather Cruise first. All right. So Ignacy, that was my question from last week. What did you have for them for next week? And we'll put up this question.
What game released and listed on a Board Game Geek list for Gen Con piqued your interest the most? Try to pick one that wasn't the top hotness, like not the top 25. Go deep. Go deep. What hidden gem from Gen Con's list were you most excited about? And the question is, when I was watching many of the YouTubers, influencers, top 10s of the games most anticipated, I saw that most of them picked these top games.
Yeah.
Let's find out other publishers. Let's find other games that doesn't have this big marketing push. And maybe there's something super interesting. So let's help out the smaller publishers. Let's help out the independent publishers. And don't talk about these hot games. Tell us what was interesting. What piqued your interest from the small games?
I'm gonna give mine. I'm going to give a couple because I made notes here of the stuff that I want to check out. And there's certainly well prepared as always for the show. And there's certainly lots of stuff from the big publishers on here too. But I'll give a shout out to one of them, Smirk and Dagger Games, right? Kurt Covert, just an amazing human being. I've known him before there was a Stronghold. He had Smirk and Dagger. Wonderful guy back from Connecticut. Used to see him at the Jersey conventions. He's releasing a game called Boop.
Never heard
Boop.
about it. Yep.
And it's a little abstract strategy game about cats. I know you love cats.
Yeah, I do. I have a third cat, by the way.
You have a third cat.
When I was away in America.
Oh, Mary got another cat. Oh, that's great. So it's about cats bouncing other cats off the bed.
Okay.
It's adorable. It's got little quilt in the game and little cat meeples. The bigger cats bounce the little cats bigger than and things like that. It looks great. It's abstract, and it's sort of his follow-up to Shobu, which is also an abstract game that he released 2 years ago, I believe, and it's done very well for him as well. So that's the big one that I'm going to shout out from a small publisher. And the other one's not so, okay. You know what? I'll stay away from the more known one. But 25th Century Games is releasing a game called Green Team Wins. Green Team Wins is a party game where you want to be only on the green team. Because the green team always wins. So you got to be on the green team. You have to figure out how to get yourself onto the green team. So it's about trying to figure out knowing the people that you're playing with and predicting what they're going to say. So those are my couple of games that from the smaller-ish publishers.
And this is what we need from you. Find us such games.
You don't have any. You don't know any.
No.
Okay.
I'm just asking questions here.
Okay. Everybody else out there, I'm going to create that thread because Ignacy's too busy.
That.
So I'll create the thread. Go to our guild on BGG. Find our playtesting thread with this question and post your answers to it. In the meantime, let's get to final scoring. Thank you so much for listening. Help us spread the word about this podcast by telling your friends to download Board Games Insider wherever they like to get their podcasts or watch Board Games Insider on the Podfather of Gaming YouTube channel. To ask us questions for our strategy and tactics segment, which will be back next week, you must post them in the correct thread in our guild on Board Game Geek. To answer our question to you from playtesting, you must also go to the guild on Board Game Geek, look for the thread with this episode's question, and post your answer there. Board Games Insider has a Facebook page, so please like us on Facebook. Also on Facebook, please like Ignacy's page and Steven's page, which is /PortalGamesUS and /PodfatherGaming. Our websites, portalgamesus.com, podfathergaming.com. Go there, sign up for the newsletters, and find out what's happening with up-to-the-minute information on Portal Games and with the Podfather. Social media, Twitter and Instagram, it's @PortalGamesUS and @PodfatherGaming. Same, and on YouTube, it's Portal Games Movies, Portal Games Gameplays, and the Podfather of Gaming. Watch Ignacy dance on TikTok, Portal Games US. We hope to see you soon at an upcoming convention. Maybe it'll be the Spiel this year. Maybe it'll be PAX U. Maybe it'll be BGG Con in the fall. Board Games Insider was professionally edited by Matthew Jude from This Game is Broken podcast. If you'd like to have him edit your podcast, please contact him on Twitter or email at thisgameisbrokenpodcast@gmail.com. That great voice you hear doing our intro, outro, and in-between segments is that of Ray Greenlee. He can be contacted to do voiceover work at raygreenleevoiceover.com.
I have a special news.
You have special news. What is it?
Special announcement. I want to make it very clear to Matthew Jude that Steven is the person who picked the location with all this additional noise. I'm innocent here. It was all his idea to record in the bar next to his card. So Matthew, this time it's Steven to be blamed.
But it has so much energy when we're in the middle of a hotel here. Maybe it's not noon yet. I can't have a drink. Wait, it's noon somewhere. It's noon in Poland. I can have there's a lot of alcohol back there.
That was a clear statement on my side.
Paula is cracking up over here. So just so you know, Paula, you want to show up again? No, she refuses to be on camera anytime. Anyway, thank you everybody so much for listening to us and being silly with us. And we will see you in a week. Take care, everybody.